We have a packed agenda today. I'll get into that shortly, but for now, I want to just welcome our co-founder and Chief Innovation Officer, Wayne Liang, to the stage to give you all a warm welcome from HeyGen.
Okay, great. Thanks, Edison. Hi, everyone. I'm Wayne. I'm a co-founder of HeyGen. It's really great to see so many faces, some new, some like we know each other before, to our second community event. And this is going to be a great event. We have Michael from getitAI, who has been revolutionizing, e-commerce stuff with our technology. We would love to hear him talking about how this is being very impactful to their business. And we have Eddy, who is our tech lead for interactive avatar, that we just came back from South by, where we are one of the finalists for the Innovation Award, and have been showing our interactive avatar to lots of global audience there, and it was great. And this product has been actually worked on for over 2 years backing our team, and we've seen lots of progress. We've seen lots of customers using that, deploying that into their production with their users. We believe it's one of the future we are bringing to the business world with our technology. So very excited to be here with everyone and happy to answer any question, to discuss anything. But let's look forward to the next few sessions that's coming soon. Thank you.
Yay.
Today, video is everything. You need speed, creativity, and consistency. With HeyGen, you can create the most lifelike avatar videos, 10 times faster than traditional production, scale across 175 different languages, looks, and platforms, all in 4K. Your clients want more videos, more engagement, and more results. HeyGen gives you the tools to deliver. Need personalized videos that feel custom? Done. Launch interactive, engaging campaigns that deliver more for your clients, and do it all without blowing the budget. No expensive studios, no costly talent, just beautiful, effective videos that drive results. And here's a secret. We used HeyGen to create me. Join the future of storytelling.
Okay. Oops. All right, guys. So this is what we have on the schedule for today. So we just heard from Wayne. And next up, we're going to hear from my esteemed colleague, Eddy Kim, HeyGen's interactive avatar technical lead, who's going to give us some product updates, as well as the latest and greatest on interactive avatar. And then we will go to the main event, which is a demo and conversation with getitAI co-founder Michael Greenberg right here, where we'll dive into his unique journey and just show you all how he and the team leverage interactive avatar to scale personalized sales experiences for clients of all kinds. And then afterwards, we're going to get to your questions. I know you guys have a lot of them. Some of you have already asked them. We're going to do our best to answer as many as we can. And then at the very end, we'll just leave some time for everybody to hang out. Please eat our food. Please drink the drinks. They won't drink themselves. And before I pass it to Eddy, lastly, I just want to say, beyond today's event, please continue connecting with us in the HeyGen Community Hub, which is community.heygen.com. Keep connecting, sharing ideas, and learning. You can visit our forums where you can join beta testing groups, share your work, add product post feature requests. You can head to the events tab to RSVP for events like these, join our webinars and whatnot. And also don't miss our resources tab, where you can get a great look at HeyGen use cases and step-by-step guidance on how to use HeyGen's many features. And with that, I'll hand it over to Eddy, HeyGen's interactive avatar technical lead, for a run-through. Go, Eddy.
Hello, hello. Cool. Let's do some general product updates. What's the latest? We are adding motion in Studio. So within our Studio, if you guys are familiar with our editor, you can now add motion to those and preview those very quickly. We have voice recommendations for our photo avatar. So as you create your avatars, you can add a voice, and it'll kind of recommend the best voices for those based on your prompt. And it turns out voice is a critical component to the visual quality of your avatars. We all have a bias about how someone looks and how they sound, and so this will kind of make that process a lot easier. And we have PDF to video. So if you guys are tired of making presentations, upload your PDF. We'll make it for you. So if you're not familiar, what is interactive avatar? If you are kind of keeping tabs on the space, right now the big rage right now is conversational AI. So if you've talked to your ChatGPT on voice mode, it is amazing. It's like the movie Her. It's already here. And when you're calling your customer service, you're actually probably talking to an AI agent at the end. But what's next after that? Digital humans that you can talk to in real time and see at the same time. So like Wayne said, we've been working on this for the last 2 years, and our interactive avatars can be clones of yourself, or you can use our public avatars as well. And we've come across many use cases that our customers have been using it in. I've highlighted just a few here, and some of them will be customer support. We have a few clients in Japan live using this in Japan for their customer support. We have AI Alec. Alec, call out to you. He's one of the top salesmen at our company. He sells himself. It's quite interesting. And some of the other use cases, at least online, you can think of interviewing, job training, coaching. Maybe you need to practice for your interview. Maybe you need to have a practice for a difficult conversation. Maybe you want to learn a language. Instead of watching videos on how to learn a language, you could talk to someone real time, at your pace, at your cadence. And we were recently at South by Southwest. We were showcasing this to lots of people, and they have really good barbecue. And some updates on interactive avatar. So what we've been working on the last few months is a new architecture behind the scenes. So it'll be transparent to most of you, but in terms of reliability and speed, this is where you'll see those numbers. And in addition, we'll be releasing our real-time API. So for those of you who don't want to use our conversation stack, but you want to bring your own ASR, LLMs, we'll just be the video layer. You bring whatever you want. And so with our real-time API, you can bring your entire conversation stack. You got maybe a secret sauce or secret workflows, agentic workflows you want to use. Just plug us in, give us the agent audio, we'll give you the video back. And that will be coming out. And our new public avatars, so this has been a feature that people have been requesting, is avatars that you can have a green screen so that you can place the avatar in front of any background you want, so that you can just kind of chroma screen the background out. Some things on the roadmap, we're going to be building towards where the developers are. So in terms of some of the most popular conversational AI frameworks, we have PipeCat, LiveKit's agent framework, and we're in talks with Agora as well too. We are looking to integrate with them to where our developers are. OpenAI real-time integration. So you'll be able to chat with a demo of this in the back later. If you've talked to your ChatGPT voice, that's the same one. And we have customers from many international audiences. So Gladia is a very popular multilingual like speech-to-text model. So we'll be integrating with them fairly soon. And it can be kind of difficult to record 2 minutes of video for our avatars. You have to record a very certain way. We want to make that even easier. What if you could do that with a photo? So we're currently in the works of trying to figure out how to make that much easier for our people to train. And we got a bunch of revamps to our website. We're building brand new SDKs. We know they're not the best right now, so we're bringing a whole new team in to build out all our SDKs there. So that's it for my updates. Oh, and one more thing. We are making the interactive avatar cheaper. So Now, if you want to create a clone of yourself, it used to be $89 to be able to create that clone. Now we're dropping it to $29. Woo! All right. All right.
Everybody give it up for Eddy again. All right, bear with us just a moment as we get set up here. Okay. All right, while Michael gets set up, I'm just gonna give you a quick introduction. So here you go.
Thank you.
Bear with us. So Michael is a product leader with a decade of experience building, designing, and shipping digital assistant and avatar products in Silicon Valley. Sharpening his teeth at Google, at Meta, at Samsung. Quite the logos there, my friend. He is a Webby Award-winning designer, holds about half a dozen patents, has a successful track record leading teams and building innovative products that use emerging technologies. So with degrees from UC Berkeley, my friend, Michael has a very strong connection to the best of California's information. So really fun fact, Michael has also published a book as a photographer. So a man of many talents. So everybody, if you could please put your hands together for Michael.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Boy.
I'm sorry.
Get that away from me.
I'm sorry. It was me.
Hi. There we go. Hi, everybody. Okay. Give me a minute to finish getting this set up and test the audio because we want to be able to hear what our avatars are going to be saying. Also, I like to listen to music when I work, and this is going to be like a live building demo. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of music as well, if that's even possible. All right, that's good. Just background. Okay. So, there we go. Hi, I'm Michael. I am a co-founder of getitAI. I'm going to first tell you a little bit about what getitAI is, what it does, what we build, and then I'm going to live build one of our experiences with hopefully some participation from the audience, so it's not you just watching me for half an hour talk about something. And at the end, we will get to experience what it's like using our studio and some of our technology to build with HeyGen and create a consumer experience that uses avatars but still feels really personal and engaging. So getitAI, we turn this kind of social curiosity into conversations with avatars. Some of those are structured conversations, some of those are dynamic conversations. We're gonna get into that. And we work currently with direct-to-consumer brands. So brands like True Classic and Lint, Life Fuel, which is a SoCal-based company, Ember, for example. So what we do is storytell. We are creating these immersive video experiences. You're getting AI guidance when you're purchasing something with one of these direct-to-consumer brands. And you are allowing creators to scale themselves into having an infinite number of touch points with their consumers that they would otherwise be more constrained to on Instagram or with live shopping. So super easy integrations, that's one of the key points. HeyGen, our consumers basically get that for free with using our platform. We pay the bills, don't worry, not the consumers. All right, so setting up with our platform, it's 4 steps. First is that you connect knowledge. We're gonna skip that part of the demo because that part takes a little bit of time, but I'll walk you through it. Then we personify the brand. That's the creation of the avatar. We connect it with HeyGen. We create the avatar with one of our customers, and then we connect via API their knowledge with the avatar into our platform. We then generate experiences. That's what we're gonna focus the most on today. And then last is that you deploy it. All right. So, I don't like this song. Cool. All right. So what we have here is our studio, and it's really small. It's okay. We're going to zoom in a minute. So the studio is really what the core of getitAI is. It is a dialogue building platform that allows you to create these static and dynamic conversations. So first, we're gonna pretend like we're setting this up from scratch. First, we're gonna come into the agent settings. We're going to give a description of what this agent is meant to be like. We're gonna give it a name. We're gonna describe the tone and the biography, and this is where we get to connect the HeyGen avatar. So here's the avatar. This is Ryan. He's the founder of True Classic. Who, show of hands, knows what True Classic is? Okay, handful of hands. They're men's basic wear, massively successful hyper-growth company. So they make primarily men's t-shirts, very basic, but really comfortable shirts. So I went in the studio at their headquarters and filmed with Ryan and created an avatar. So this is him. We've got his streaming avatar ID. We've got a static avatar ID that will become relevant in a minute. We're using OpenAI when there is no video available for the voice, and a couple other things in the setup. So magic, hand wave, Hollywood magic, setup happened. Great, now we're going to create some flows. So let's start with doing something like, and I have some stuff on the bottom there just to help with my creativity. So here in the studio, we're starting with our begin the conversation. So the user might say something like, hi, hello, reset, start from the beginning, right? And what happens after they say one of those things? We're going to create a greeting. Hi there, I'm Ryan. Can we see that okay? Yeah. Hi there, I'm Ryan, founder of True Classic. Want to check out some shirts? Okay, so this is what Ryan is gonna say with the avatar that has been created. We can test it, and there'll be a little bit of latency as it loads. So we're gonna test that, and he's gonna say the thing that we just typed out. Oh, that part's loud. Okay, give it a minute. Might pause the music. So what's happening right now is it's creating a video in the background in HeyGen.
Hi there, I'm Ryan, founder of True Classic. Want to check out some shirts?
So we typed it. It triggered the event, the video's been generated, it now exists in our studio, so we can play this and it should be much faster every time going forward. Should be. Sometimes it takes a couple events to trigger.
I'm Ryan, founder of True Classic.
Right?
Want to check out some shirts?
So that's what we typed, that's what he said. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's add some options and some pictures. So what we're gonna do, and I have it again down here just to save time. We're going to add classic crews and a gift finder flow. So let's do this. Classic crew tease will take us to this node, which we built before, where he describes the t-shirt. This is static content, right? This is, we've decided what we want the avatar to say. It goes through the flow. It is a story that we are presenting to the user in a very structured way. What we know is that 80–90% of people who are coming to these kinds of online experiences, they're doing the same thing as the rest of everybody else that's done it. There's 10 to 20% that are asking questions that we've never seen before. That's where the interactive avatars come in, and we're gonna show that in a minute. So we now have two options. We have an image associated with it. It's gonna share it into the screen. It's gonna fit the content to the screen size, and those are both going to be buttons that we can click that'll take us into next parts of the flow. So he'll say his piece in a moment.
Hi there, I'm Ryan, founder of True Classic. Want to check out some shirts?
And I'm gonna click on Classic Crew Tees. So this will be very fast, theoretically. Pretty fast.
This is our classic tee.
Right.
Soft, comfy, and breathable for all day wear.
So I'm gonna mute him for a second. So that was really fast because it was a cached video. It existed on the server. We had generated it beforehand, but it's the same avatar ID as if we were to just ask Ryan a question that he's never seen before, and it's gonna dynamically generate a response. So I'm gonna click through a couple times. He's gonna, I want a classic t-shirt that's maybe an active fit. He's gonna look it up and get back to us. He pulled in some results from Shopify. We're skipping a lot here. I'm just gonna get us to the point where we can start asking him questions, right? So he's pitching us right now. He's like, which one's catching your eye? Let's say it's the active crew neck. All right, so now this is gonna be a streaming response. Based on all the inputs that I gave it, it's going to now trigger a streaming event, create an interactive avatar session, and start pitching me this product based on how quickly I click through the options, based on if it thinks that I've been here before, if I've seen this product before. It's gonna take into account a whole bunch of stuff and generate a pitch that it delivers, but done so via streaming, if it wants to do that, and sometimes it takes a while. Let's maybe return to a different part of the conversation. Let's start over again. Oh, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a slightly more stable version. That was dev, this is prod. Okay.
This is our classic tee.
Too loud.
Soft, comfy, and breathable for all day wear. The
Continue, classic, active.
Let me look that up and get back to you.
All right.
Awesome. Here's our collection of active.
There we go.
That's a great choice.
So the IS is a great choice is a
The
filler.
Carbon Active Crew Neck Tee is your go-to for active days, offering moisture wicking, odor control, and a quick dry finish to keep you comfortable. Made from a polyester spandex blend, it provides a contemporary athletic fit with UPF 30 protection. Ready to add this versatile tee to your cart?
Right, so he's pitching. Based on all the signals that he can gather, he being the avatar, he's trying to speak to the specific points that we're interested in. That's all prompting, that's part of the engine, that's part of the models that we've developed. So, and those are all things that maybe he's said before, based on things that have happened in the past conversations. So let's ask him some other question. I don't know. I'll think of the first one and then I'll ask you guys to come up with some. What about like, what do you suggest for like cold weather? So this theoretically should be triggering a streaming event. It's
For
querying.
cold weather,
Okay.
I'd recommend our active joggers for their premium comfort fit and moisture wicking.
So this is streaming.
Perfect for staying warm and active.
This is an
Then we have our
interactive-
Comfort Stretch jeans.
This is an interactive avatar response. But you, as the consumer, wouldn't know the difference between a pre-rendered response and a streaming response. Because, as I said, 80–90% of responses fall into the head of the conversation. We've seen this before. We know the kinds of questions people ask. They're clicking on buttons that we're providing them because that's what people like to do. So let's ask him a question that, I don't know, is maybe not one, and this is a test environment, maybe one that we haven't seen before. Somebody give me a question that I can ask him.
What's it made out of?
More left field than that. What's it made out of is a fair question.
What's the thread count?
Sure, okay. Let's see. What's the thread count? Let's see what he comes up with. So he's going to look it up, which we...
The active joggers don't have a specific thread count like sheets do, but they're made from a premium blend of
There we go.
90% polyester and 10% spandex, offering a soft, stretchy feel. This combination ensures durability and comfort.
Not a bad response for thread count. Basically him saying we don't do that, but still making it feel like a really respectful, engaging response. What about another question? Anybody? Does it ship to Australia? Do you ship to Australia?
Let me look that up and get back to you.
I'm going to explain those responses in a second.
Yes, we do ship to Australia. We want to make sure everyone can enjoy our comfortable and stylish clothing, no matter where they are. Is there a specific product you're interested in having shipped?
Right. So what you're noticing, there's something that happens right before he responds, which is, let me look that up, or hold on 1 second. We call those filler sentences. In the event that it triggers a streaming response, there might be some latency. You have to create the WebRTC connection, you have to generate the response, send the response, begin the stream session, render it on the device, right? There's a lot to happen, and what we just heard from Eddy is it's going to get a lot, wherever Eddy is, it's going to get a lot faster. We've been working with HeyGen for long enough that it wasn't fast before. It was really long, so we have these filler sentences, just like we do in human-to-human conversation. If we're having a conversation, you ask me a question, I say, let me think about that, right? It feels normal. You buy a few seconds of grace from the interlocutor. So we have those as well. When it hits a streaming instance, then it will add some filler sentence that's relevant to what the user asked. So if they asked for, do you have X product? It'll say, let me look it up. If it'll say, if you say like, oh, I have a random question, it'll say, okay, 1 sec, what's your question? So what about another question that has nothing to do with True Classic?
Oh, why don't you make silk pants?
Sure. How about silk underpants? I have no idea what he's going to say to this. No clue.
Let me look that up and get back to you.
Right. Let's see.
Silk underpants, while luxurious, might not align with our focus on creating durable, everyday essentials that are both comfortable and affordable.
Too bad.
We prioritize materials that offer stretch, breathability, and ease of care, which are key.
So who's like thinking about buying a True Classic shirt after this demo, right? So this is what it's like to interact with the avatar using like the studio that we've built. So let's add some more nodes and we can try it out. We can see what it's like. These are all structured dialogues. You can see what he says is right here. Then we get to a point in the conversation where it's powered by an LLM. This is the handoff to the streaming, the interactive avatars. We get through the part of the flow that we know, the user's making selections, and then they get here. Search for a crew neck based on the positive search results. The preferences that the user has given, the lifestyle fit, show some products, just say, all right, here's our lineup, and then pitch the product, which do you want to take a closer look at? So it really does start talking through the product. Search through the products. We can even go through a gift finder flow where we ask questions about what the user might want to buy for somebody with a ton of logic. Like if they've said short sleeve, then move them in this direction of the conversation. If they said long sleeve, move them in that direction of the conversation. So the studio is really the brain and HeyGen is our face. The studio is allowing HeyGen to send us results and videos that feel like you're having a real natural conversation while still giving control to the creative behind the scenes. This isn't a fully streaming, fully whatever you want the avatar to say. It'll ad-lib it. The analogy that I like to give is it's like with comedy. There's different types of comedy. There's stand-up comedy, which is a little bit more scripted. They wrote the punchline before they got on stage. And then there's improv. So streaming avatars is improv, but there's a really important part of the conversation that happens with like the scripted storytelling. So our platform kind of blends those two and then uses it to sell products. So we can create some more nodes here. Let's go to let's do new drop, right? So let's say that there's a new product. I had started working on this earlier today. So if the user says, let's see, what's new at True Classic? Or description, oh, so yeah. New product from TC. We'll add examples. What's new at True Classic? What is your new drop? And then we'll generate a bunch of other examples, which are used as what we call golden utterances to train the model to trigger based on intents that are similar to that. Has you released any new items? Tell me about new products, right? So this intent now exists. The user can say something at any part of the conversation, whether you're talking about shipping policy, returns, product browsing. If you just ask at any point, do you have any new products? This intent will trigger based on the intent, the golden utterances that we just trained the model with. It'll then say, so glad you're interested in our new drops, highly anticipated True Classic, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, True Classic. What's a product that we should have them as a new drop? Anybody? Give me something. Silk underwear. The True Classic silk undergarments. They're soft. Is silk breathable? No. Soft, durable, but not so breathable. Let's pretend like they have that, and we're going to choose a product. Like we'll say that, how about this? These are all of True Classic's products. We're connected to their Shopify in the back end, so all of this is populated from Shopify. Let's say that it's the, I don't know, short sleeve polo. Just suspend disbelief that that's our silk underpants. Now what we can do is I'm going to get rid of this node and say here at this button, which is going to precede the conversation, tell me more. And connect it to this LLM over here. And we're going to tell the LLM, like, take the product the user has been shown and pitch it to them. Do it in just a few sentences. And pretend like True Classic actually offers it. Okay, and in here, we're going to make sure that it's sharing screen. It's going to continue to share as it moves on to the next node. So a lot of this is configurable. I'll show you in a minute how it can be done automatically. And like this, I'm going to refresh so that we can see that. All right. So there's our pretend silk undergarments. We're going to play this node, which I think should automatically go to the next one. Yep. So again, it's a structured dialogue, but it's the first time that it's ever been said, so it's triggering a VidGen event in the background, but then also initiating a streaming event so that we can see it right now. So this, you guys are getting double paid.
Drops, the highly anticipated True Classic silk undergarments. They're soft, durable, but not so breathable.
Okay, so tell me more.
Let me look that up and get back to you.
Streaming event. Now activating the LLM response.
Looking for the ultimate wardrobe upgrade?
There we go.
Check out our Staple Crew Bottom 9-pack.
Okay,
It's
so
got everything you need to mix and match for any occasion.
you refused to talk about the silk.
Jacket with versatile tees in a range of colors.
That's funny.
Plus jeans and chinos that fit just right. All this for $199.99, making it a steal for anyone wanting to elevate their everyday style without breaking the bank.
So if this was an actual product, then it would be shown on the screen here. He would be talking you through it. He would be, talking to specific product details. You could ask questions about it. But I'm demonstrating how, like, as new information becomes available in the back end, in the knowledge, it's a new product, it's a new, it's a new feature. It's really easy using like this kind of dialogue building to speak to the points that you're trying to sell. If there are any salespeople, it's like you've got your points that you got to stick to that work really well, while also allowing for some dynamic content to come in via LLM. So I'm going to put a pin in that, and I'm going to talk about what happens kind of maybe sometimes at the higher end of the funnel. So if we think about sales, we think about Instagram and the use of avatars, the potential use of avatars is for ads. You're scrolling Instagram and you see an ad for a product, or you see an ad for a service or something like that. I know that HeyGen's been exploring some of these use cases. We've thought about that as well. So what we have here, rather than me building it from scratch, I'm gonna connect some of these nodes that I made earlier. Let's assume you were on Instagram and you saw, let's see, I think, where is it? Here. I think this is like an actual ad from True Classic. Let's see if it'll play.
Oh, it's gonna be fun!
Babe, if we go in there, you're just gonna buy a bunch of makeup, and it's just gonna be boring.
No, you gotta trust me. Come on. For real, today's all about you for your dress shopping review. We're gonna find you some basic everyday.
Okay, so this is an ad on Instagram. This is like an actual bona fide True Classic ad that either they sent us or we scraped. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. So let's say there's always a CTA on Instagram, like click here to learn more. So you click on this ad, you would then be taken to this experience. Okay, I thought it was preloaded. There we
Smart
go.
move. Over 20,000 positive reviews can't be wrong. Plus, if it's not the best tee you've ever worn, you've got 30 days to return it without any hassle. Guaranteed.
And now we're pitching in our platform. And if I was on the phone, you'd see I'm swiping, but you swipe through these like short form video contents that are actual UGC from True Classic that they have on reviews on their website, on their page. They should be like automatically playing in this dev environment. It might not be working perfectly. So it's like this social ad funnel that allows you in the platform using HeyGen avatars as kind of the bait or the hook to come onto the platform, get some ads and social content, short form video content, and then get taken to a part of the flow that's like, okay, great, so you've seen some of these videos, now let's talk about the product. And it ends up starting to pitch you the product. And then you end up in a conversation with the avatar. So the platform is really flexible and allows you to configure it and modify it in essentially like unlimited number of ways. And yeah, we're as a company really exploring the different ways that you can think creatively using LLMs, using avatars to help innovate ad funnels, to create really engaging content on the website, have the brands own their own traffic rather than punching it out to some other website. Don't buy it on Amazon, buy it on True Classic. It's a fun way to buy it on True Classic. Don't buy it from an aggregator. Buy it directly from the brand itself. You can work with some fun technology in order to create those experiences. So that is an overview. If there are any specific questions for Studio, I mean, there's like a ton of functionality in the Studio that I've not even begun to scratch the surface on. Creating an intent or adding all of these different, you can add text, images, create AI responses, embeds if you have HTML. You can listen to what the user wants to say. You can add image buttons, product selections, right? So like this allows a ton of functionality that are all of which is facilitated by the fact that you're having a conversation with an avatar. No. Yeah, questions, yes?
Yeah, so Studio, is this for brands to actually manage themselves, or is it, so
Yep.
you would train them on how to use it?
Yep, we work in partnership with them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of functionality in here. And it's funny, we saw earlier the HeyGen studio, like the creator, what is it? Was it called the studio? Yeah, the editor. we don't need to use that because we kind of like API, we backdoor in to trigger these video generation events, right? So you can, actually, if you go into our account on HeyGen, you see all of the different videos that we've generated. So you can also go in and manipulate those as well that we then pull from the server. Our studio, we work in partnership with the brands. We give them access, we show them how to adjust things, but we work with them to kind of set it up originally. And this reminds me, that takes me here. So we do have a way to create flows based on prompting. So this is it's a video. Let's see, I'm going to show you from the very beginning. So we're in here, in studio, we add an intent, we give it a name, we describe it, we give it a couple examples, kind of like I did earlier. And then, with time, this is mostly asynchronous, it will automatically create the flow based on what you've defined. So they just pop up, the nodes pop up. This is what we're moving towards for most customers. For most folks, you want to be able to say, this is what I want it to pitch my t-shirt for me, and here are some product specifications, and then the system will automatically, dynamically create these nodes for you to refine rather than doing it manually. This is a little bit harder, you kind of relinquish some control, but the brands that we work with, they've had enough time using Studio that they can then go in here, this is kind of like the starting point for them, and then they go in and they fine tune and manipulate. Yeah. Yes, this is next.
The question was whether it can have a voice prompt or a text prompt. The answer was
yes, you can. So you see here in the UI that we've built, you can type a message, or you can record a message, which is going to, I don't know if it's listening to me now, it's going to be very confused if I end up stop talking. Let's see, yeah. So, but yes, you can use both. It's multimodal.
okay. I have one more question. Is that okay? All right. So when I'm doom scrolling the videos, right? Yeah. I can probably go in and watch this video, but do I also have an option of not watching a video and getting just the text, or having just the voice input outputs?
There you go.
All right. Perfect.
Yep. You're not
thank you.
obligated to use the video. It's our perspective that video is the most engaging form of content, so that's what we lead with. But there is an option to have a text-only interface, a more traditional chatbot experience, which we're not as much fans of as HeyGen, I'm sure, is very happy to hear. Yeah.
So when you're working with these brands, how are they responding or feeling about leaving it all up to an LLM to respond versus having a defined kind of talk track and story? How do they feel about it?
There's a relief that they don't have to think of every single thing, every single objection the user might have. And what we have here, actually I can't show it to you on this one. I'm gonna unplug this for 1 second and then go to somewhere to answer your question. Here and, because I don't wanna show too much of the other stuff. Here, okay. Wait for it. There we go, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is a live customer. This is the like the supervisor view, where they can look into conversations that people are having, look at actual real-life transcripts, and then places where the agent failed to answer a question, which we then capture, save it to this for them to go to later and review, and then update the knowledge base with the kinds of questions people are asking that the agent didn't feel confident enough to answer. So there's a relief component of, we don't have to think about every single thing. We give you the 80% of the content that we know people ask us. And if you talk to brand owners, they know their customers really well. If you ask them what are the top 10 objections or what are the 5 most popular products, they have those answers like off the top of their head. So those are the things that are hard-coded into the system, and the rest is left up to LLM, which then with the feedback mechanism that we have here with the supervisor view, you can see that there's like let's see, response excellently describes Bois Imperial fragrance with detailed notes and includes a call to action, effectively addressing the user. Okay, so that was a good one. Needs action. Oh yeah, that was a highlight. Needs action. Failed to address the user's likely intent to continue shopping, providing a generic and irrelevant reply. Agent should clarify the user intent and further assist suggestions, right? So this is where the brand owner goes, looks, adds information to the knowledge base, which is a super easy thing to do. And then the agent has no issue with that going forward. Was there a question on this side? No. Yes, another one. I love it. Ask away.
First question is it integrated with GHL, for example, like if I want to set up meetings and everything downstream?
Yes. We have, like, I think a Calendly and a Reclaim meeting link that you can schedule a meeting with, like, a real person. We don't yet have meetings with the avatars. There's all sorts of, you can do custom integrations really easily with if you just like a custom embed. You can put whatever code you want into a field, into one of the nodes, and it'll render that based on however you've created it. It's actually quite clever. Second part of the question?
That's awesome. Everything is positive so far.
Yeah.
Come to this question. So I have a conversation for like say 20 minutes with the avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Can it summarize the whole thing and give me advice on the conversation that we had? Like, for example, in education, it might be very useful, right? As a teacher,
Right.
You're having a conversation with a student.
Yeah, that's totally possible. We don't right now have like conversation summaries, conversation by conversation, but you can export it and then just have an LLM summarize it for you. But yes, these are the kinds of insights that brands are looking for, the conversations that people are having with their brand. They want to know the takeaways. What went well? What didn't go well? Did it convert a sale? That's the purpose of the agent is to increase conversion rates, increase average order values. They're not so much there to explore all of our products. That's what the website's for. And we're not trying to get rid of the website. We're just trying to make it easier for people to actually have their questions answered and convert as a purchasing user on the website.
Really quick, I just want to remind you guys, you are also welcome to ask questions of the HeyGen team too.
Yeah.
Wayne and Eddy
are
are
Q&A,
here.
like we can.
I mean, I guess we could, yeah.
Sure.
I feel like there's great Q&A happening here, so I'm gonna let you rock, but let's definitely,
Cool.
As a reminder, guys, HeyGen questions are also welcome. And I know you had one.
In regards to the LLM, is there a backup just in case like one goes down? Because
Yeah.
So like.
We use Open Router as our LLM infrastructure, so there's, I guess, theoretically, like a bajillion. Hold on, I'm going to unplug this for 1 second again. There's a lot of LLMs that we have access to that we can use, and the way that the system is built is this is like a very traditional framework for conversational AI. You have the intents that you've established. Things that you know you want answered in a very specific way, but then you have a fallback intent for something that we never thought that somebody was going to ask, Ryan, do you believe in God? Or like, what's your position on mustard on hot dogs? Like something that you never would have expected. So there's a fallback intent that queries all of the knowledge available. It takes longer, and it uses a different LLM because we don't need like the speed of OpenAI or the accuracy of OpenAI. We can use something a little bit cheaper that's has a larger context window that allows us to answer that question more effectively. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
So can you train these avatars with like your personalities? So if you want to make something more fun and entertaining, and can I like train those like avatars with like a lot of like nuances on your face and your expressions, and sometimes you might be angry a little bit, but it's
Right.
all for the fun part.
So there's two ways to answer that question. There's the HeyGen answer, which I'll let the HeyGen folks answer that around what the face can look like and the expressions that it can provide. And then there's the personality, like what's behind the face, the voice, the mind, the brain. That's us. So in combination, you have like a fully formed persona. On our side, yeah, absolutely. I often will tell the system, like, speak with speech disfluencies, say and like. Ryan, this guy from True Classic, he's got like a very spunky, silly, funny attitude. It's clear in the brand itself. So we tell it, respond as if Ryan would respond, and this is a description of Ryan. And the system does that quite well. We're not pretending that it's a person. It's very clear, like it says AI Ryan on here. Like it's not trying to hide that it's an AI. But it's also not trying to be human. Like it wants, after you talk to it for a few minutes, you kind of forget that it's an AI. and we like that. But every time you hit that uncanny valley moment where it says something really robotic, you're brought back into the realization, oh, this is actually an AI. So we try and minimize that as much as possible.
Process gonna be for you train the AI that's gonna be like you? Or
HeyGen? How long does it take to train?
Okay, I'll go. I can. No, I can just stand out there. Great question. Yeah, so very quickly on the second question, for training such an interactive avatar, it usually takes close to 24 hours. We're gonna make that much faster. For the expression of the avatar, like as Michael mentioned, that the knowledge, the words, right? Like whatever he says is actually up to HeyGen customers. In this case, Michael, like they have their own kind of LLM behind to kind of tell the avatar what to say based on the specific brand knowledge, the specific customer interaction. So that part of the personality actually is totally up to you guys to customize. The look of the avatar in terms of the expression, emotion is actually from the footage. So if you want to say create a very happy avatar, you definitely want to smile more in that footage you submit to make your avatar. If you want it to be like angrier or more serious, you also do that. We are working on the next generation generative tech for avatar, which is now kind of available in our video avatars, which is different than interactive avatar. So if you go check out like the core product, HeyGen, we have this expressive video avatar where their facial expression will be much more wide range expressive and could be potentially based on your semantic meaning of the scripts. Similar technology will be available to interactive avatars soon, maybe later this year in the longer term. And then that's where you have even more diverse, result of your avatar combined with such product that to give your end user a very, very engaging, very proper, experience. And hope that answered your question.
You guys keep this one. Check. I'm gonna go back here because I haven't answered a question from my friend Julian yet. Here you go.
Hi, thank you so much. This is really wonderful. So talking about these mistakes human beings make or are or like, would you put that into the 11 labs and then API into HeyGen, or how would you actually make that happen?
Yeah, sure. So if we take like maybe a March 2025 architecture for how the different Gen AI technologies fit together, HeyGen creates the face, and then there's an LLM that creates the script, and then there's some voice provider in the middle. Maybe HeyGen decides to make their own voices in the future, maybe the LLM comes stock, whatever it is. So if we assume these three Gen AI technologies, you can do it either in the first or the second one. You can either do it at the LLM level, so you say, create me something that I can send to 11 labs that has speech disfluencies. That's what we would call it in like the world of linguistics. Things like things like mispronouncing things on purpose because it sounds more human when you do that. You can do that at the LLM level, or theoretically, 11 labs could also make that an option and say, make this sound extra human by taking longer pauses and stuttering and using vocal fry at the end of sentences. But I don't think that it's not currently handled at the HeyGen level. It'd be via API from 11 Labs or OpenAI's voice API, right? Yeah.
Okay, and then I have a follow-up question, please. Thank you. That's really helpful. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, to that question, we aim to make our framework very flexible for you to plug in whatever level of in-house system you already produced. Maybe Eddy can expand on what kind of options there will be available to use the voice.
Yeah, I mean, with the we have kind of like three main levels. One is you can use our out of the house. In this case, we'll be using 11 labs, and in your system prompt, if you ask it to add those ums and disfluencies, it'll add those and make that conversation more natural. It really is at the LLM level that you could do most of that. It's the easiest way. And then Some of the more advanced models that are coming out will add those naturally for you. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but some TTS providers will add those for you at that level too. And then for us, we don't care what you use. Just bring whatever conversation stack you want. If you guys seen Sesame, like the research on there, that looks crazy. We're keeping our eye on that one. So yeah.
Question. Oh, you have any interest to go into filmmaking, like what Curious Refuge is doing? I mean, filmmaking as far as like, you know, like a Hollywood movie, like telling a story, a short film, or is that anything you're interested in?
Let me make sure I understand. So your question is like, is HeyGen interested in going to filmmaking? Yes. Content?
Like you would prompt a story and then, you know, maybe the background and like text to video in a sense, or text to like a whole story.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so we do plan to, you know, help users create better B-roll content in their video. HeyGen is to help all kind of businesses to make videos for their businesses. It's not for just like entertainment or like a, you know, non-business, you know, film or visual storytelling. But when business to convey their ideas visually, it's not only like avatar talking. Avatar is like the A-roll, the most critical part. Sometimes they also have some B-roll content, like maybe like a factory tour or some kind of product info, and maybe some just like a general, like a cool model walking in our, I don't know, street. So we do have plan to help people generate those B-roll content better, based on their goal and the intent of their avatar script or like the goal of the video. It is for their purpose. For their kids, yes.
Yeah, the distinction between A-roll and B-roll is really important. Like, in our example, the A-roll is the avatar talking to you, selling you a product. Like, that's the core experience. The B-roll, as Wayne was just talking about, is this like ad funnel, for example. You get an ad on Instagram, that can be its own creative. And then on our platform, the very first thing you see is B-roll footage because it's engaging, it's fun, it's short form, it's like, you know, it's real, it's authentic. And then after you get hooked by the B-roll, which eventually I have no doubt will be created by HeyGen, then you move into the A-roll footage where you're actually engaging with the avatar directly.
Hi, I have a quick question. I've been using HeyGen for almost 2 years, maybe a little bit more, since you're maybe out. And one of the main things that I'm using it is for content creation, and I literally mimicking myself. But I always get the problem with my accent because it's not a regular English accent. And so I always use 11 Labs. I tried to use 11 Labs. To be honest, it was complicated, so I just record myself. But now we are we're building an academy. We have artists with millions of followers and everything. We want to do their avatars on our academy. And we want to do it in bunch, in like big chunks of videos. Is that something that you offer? We can do it with multiple people at the same time, or like, is it possible?
What's the last part of your question? Multiple people of what?
Sorry?
What's the last part of your question? Multiple people?
The question is, we want to mimic a bunch of people. Is it doable with the platform itself? Do I have to connect it to 11 Labs for different accents? Because they have different accents from all over the world. And they have different accents, and I need to, the question is, do I need to record each and every one of them like I do to myself when I record my videos, or is there some way to mimic exactly their accents? And they're from different countries. Do you have accent, like digest tool or something, or I have to use an outsource, or I have to record them? I don't know.
Got it. Yeah, so to make, say, avatars or voices for a group of people, you do need to record, like submit their footage separately, either audio or video. We have our voice technology, like you have experience in your avatars. We also support you to use any other voice provider if you can get like a more accurate representation of a specific voice you want. We support you to import that to HeyGen to make videos. And this particular accent element in voice clone is actually a common issue we are seeing from the users on the market. It's like, the AI can learn about someone's voice and speak in whatever language pretty easily. But usually when some people have like their very unique accent of certain language, I think the AI actually needs to be better in picking those up. I think many people are working on that, and they will be better pretty soon. And also, it's kind of interesting that we were basically breaking the product at South by asking the avatar to speak in Texas accent, which it did, and surprised everyone. And we just happened to have a Japanese visitor there. I was like, okay, how about you speak Japanese back to this customer, but in a Texas accent. The avatar like, yeah, sure, and then stay quiet because it doesn't make sense, right? There's no Texas accent in Japanese. I think similarly, it's like everyone has their own unique accent, and sometimes people intend their avatar to be multilingual, different scenario. There's a part of the problem space that accent becomes a very interesting topic for the technology. I think part of that is still being figured out. I have strong confidence that it'll be solved much better. As of right now, on one hand, yes, you do need to record everyone to make each of them a good avatar and a good voice.
Yeah, I knew we are troublemakers.
No, it is. It's great. It's great feedback. It's great demand for the whole industry to know where they should be working towards. And I believe the accent issue will be solved much better very soon.
Do we support professional voice?
That's an option too. Maybe.
Yeah. So that's an option in the future, like 11
Which one?
Labs.
What is it?
11 Labs. So they have their instant voice clone, and then they have their professional voice quality.
We tried with it. We use Arabic and Hebrew and some other languages that have like all the it's hard for them to grasp it. So for 11 Labs and also for HeyGen. So we were looking for what ways we can do it with all the speakers that we have.
Yeah, reach out, and I think there's
Okay,
some
yeah,
things
cool.
we can
Thank
do
you.
On the side channels. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go here. I'm trying to give folks who haven't asked a question yet a chance to do so. Here you go.
This is not my question, but a quick follow-up. We've been working with HeyGen also for about 2 years, and we have an Australian accent, and an Australian accent is really difficult especially for Americans, because they don't kind of hear it when they hear it. But the guys at HeyGen have been amazing, and we've done a professional voice clone, and now when our avatar speaks in English, he sounds Australian. When he speaks in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hindu, which we do for our international markets, he still sounds like himself, but he's speaking in the language. So we had the option of him sounding like he was Indian, but it didn't feel authentic. Because when you're an Australian speaking Hindi, you don't sound like a Hindi speaking Hindi. So we've worked with you guys, and that's perfect. But my question actually was for you, in the back end of your studio, let's say for Ryan, he's setting up a campaign, maybe a 6-week campaign, he's got product drops. How much time is he going to spend in the studio doing those setups, or did he do it once and then the learning, the LLM, picks it up and takes it from there? Or does he have to do, say, 6 different scenarios at the beginning for it then to carry it off?
It's a little bit of both, right? So there's a new campaign. Let's think about it full end to end, right? There's going to be a social B-roll component of that. Most of those videos are already existing, so it's 15 minutes to pull them into studio, link them together, and allow the user to scroll through them until they're done scrolling through, and then they hit continue, right? So 15 minutes for that part. The setting up of the flow is maybe 2 hours for the rest of that conversation, thinking about, what might people ask, or what are the specific talking points? They've already thought about this campaign, to be sure, the brand. So it's an hour or 2 creating those talking points, giving it to the avatar, and then running through it and experiencing it, saying, if this was a salesperson, or if this was an ad creative that we were putting together, what feedback would I give to the system? Tweak it, allow it to run through it, tweak it, allow it to run through it, and then once it's live, it'll self-heal a bit. It'll evaluate where's their drop off, where is it converting very well, and bias towards that behavior versus kind of like, well, this is my script, so I must stick to it. Like if it's not converting, it'll give either feedback to the console and say, you know, we're not converting anything, or if there's a version of that that exists in a different part of the flow that is working really well, it'll promote that part of the flow instead.
So that's my back-end question, and I have a front-end question, and I'm really interested because we're now looking at implementing Algolia. In your system, if I'm a customer and I come in and I'm there for 5 or 10 minutes, I go away, the next day I come back, do you remember me? Or do I still need Algolia?
Yeah, we fingerprint / like cookie for 7 days. So yeah, it'll remember you when you come back. It'll bring you right back to the conversation, the part of the conversation you were in. Sometimes it's even like too much, frankly. It's like, hey, so do you want to keep looking at the shirt? You're like, whoa, that was 5 days ago. It was like quite a while. But yeah, I think striking the balance is, I'll be honest, not something that we've like perfectly nailed yet. How you greet somebody back without it being too much. But yeah, it remembers you 7 days, and then after that, we don't track anymore.
Awesome, great question.
Hi, thank you so much. So we're developing a new service that is a live video AMA platform, Ask Me Anything, so which works pretty much like a video podcast, you can imagine. So right now it's a human-to-human interaction. A human host talks to human guest. Our goal is to integrate AI interviewer. So the question here is, how do we like integrate? So we tested with a live interactive demo on Zoom, but then we're using Amazon IVS. So the question here is, how do we like bring interactive avatar into our video stream using Amazon IVS?
Yeah, for our video delivery, we're currently using LiveKit for our distribution. So you can connect the LiveKit output into any video stream that you want. It's just like they have lots of SDKs that you can use. So yeah, it's just a matter of plumbing for the video part. So.
More questions? All right.
Can a picture avatar can be turned into an interactive avatar, or does it have to be footage? And also, if yes, how would you manage personality and like the movements of it?
Yeah, so personality, we actually covered that a little bit. Personality is actually mostly from the words the avatar says, right? Which is totally in your control, depends on how you set up your LLM and give it prompt. And in terms of turning a photo into an interactive avatar, we are actually working on that. Eddy shared the update too. It's on our roadmap, it's doable. We just want to make it better and higher quality. We'll try to make it ready for users pretty soon in the next few weeks or months, right?
And I'll add, read any LLM like blog post that talks about prompt engineering, like the thing that the information you give to the system. There we go. The information you give to the system to create the desired output. If you infuse the personality that you want the result to have, and if you follow through the pipeline, the avatar to have, that's when it really feels like it's meant that it's been crafted, like it's an actual developed, mature personality. If you don't inject that into the LLM, which then gets given to the voice, which gets given to HeyGen, then it just feels like any other LLM-generated personality, and it's kind of that's a least common denominator across all the training data that the LLM has ingested. So it's always best practice to like give it a backstory, to be like, this is who you are as an LLM mind, and you'll see a much more realistic human result on the other side of that as well.
Any more questions?
First question is, how much does 1 minute of interaction cost? Do we know?
For HeyGen?
Yeah.
Hello?
For HeyGen or for us?
For you. For
us?
Get It,
yeah. For the our customer in the end, we don't charge per minute of interaction.
What is the cost?
Should I hand it over?
Cost, right?
Should I hand it over to my team member, our head of growth? So Cost depends on how many sessions and then how many sales are made and how many SKUs there are. So it's a bit of a matrix. For example, if there are 10,000 products, that's a lot of videos for us to have in the end generated to talk about products. So it costs a bit different for that customer than it does for somebody who sells one product. And there's plenty of single product companies out there. Or go to Abbott Kinney and you'll see a bunch of different brands. Some of them have 1,000 versions of shoes and some of them have 2 shoes. So the price structure looks a little bit different depending on how much avatar generation, because that's the most expensive part of our stack, is going to be required in order to create this customer's experience.
Okay. Are you going to open this for consumers sometime?
Maybe, not yet.
All right, everybody. More questions? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed you. Here you go.
So I'm wondering how this group can help you all. Like how can we, Michael? How can we help you?
Us. Oh, hi.
For your, let's start with you, but then let's talk about HeyGen as well.
Yeah, there's a couple ways that I think I could answer that. First is, and this is kind of a meta point, if you see AI avatar technology in the wild, use it, try it. Don't be afraid of, it's gonna suck at first, of course. Like any paradigm shifting technology is a little rough around the edges at first. So as like people in your lives, it's easy for us to be skeptical about these kind of emerging technologies, but we will get them to a point where they're really enjoyable and seamless and fit into our lives in a little bit more of a natural and organic way. You just got to use them a bit. Either we're like having analytics on our side to watch when it doesn't go well to improve it, or as was the case when we were working with HeyGen over a year ago on their interactive avatars, we gave them direct feedback. Or I was in Slack with Wayne being like, Wayne, this sucks right now. Please, calling Alec from like the lobby of MIT being like, I'm giving a live demo at MIT in 45 minutes and the latency is killing me right now. So like that's how people can help, is by having direct feedback to the source. So if you see a getitAI avatar out there in the wild, take my LinkedIn, take my number, and text me being like, I just tried it and it wasn't working, so that we can then go in and bug smash it. And then eventually, before we realize it, it'll be seamless enough where we don't even notice, you don't even notice the rough edges. And then on the other side of that, if you know other brands, direct-to-consumer brands that want to use this kind of tech, connect with me afterwards. We're still constantly onboarding people, and that's the most tangible way that you could help us.
Yeah, I think Michael gave a... Hello? I think Michael gave a really good answer, and as you have all seen that their team use HeyGen better than we do. we don't combine video and streaming like on our own, and they did a really amazing job. And actually, I think from HeyGen similar, the best way to help us is to give us your feedback anytime, anywhere, especially if you do have like a real use case you wish to be further empowered, or you wish to try with whatever AI we are building, or there's something you think that might work, but you are still 1 or 2 steps away. We need to build something further so you can be unlocked to become a creator, to promote your business better, to build a product better. All of those insights, those ideas, those feedback, or those complaints, those reports are the most valuable, information for us to know where to go. And my co-founder and I have been talking to users. Like some of you mentioned you've been using HeyGen since 2 years ago. Maybe we actually have talked in one of our previous user calls, because my co-founder and I have been trying to talk to users like every week, every day in the past few years. The reason for us to be able to make a kind of okay progress that's useful for people is because we keep learning from all of you. So that would be like a really appreciate it if you can all do that. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, there's a feedback button on the interactive avatar. I read every one of those comments right before I sleep, so.
So you have really sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, yeah, give us feedback. This entire field right now, it's in its infancy. We're seeing just the beginning. And we're very privileged to be a part of it, and we need your feedback to guide that creation. So this is all just the beginning. So.
We actually have like 10 plus feedback buttons in HeyGen, if you notice.
Yes. All right, Wayne, do you want to close us out? Say a few words.
Okay. Do we keep the chair to that or?
Yeah, you can keep sitting. You guys can hang out.
I'll stand up. I'll stand up. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming. This is a great event, and you are all like amazing in terms of audience, users, and the questions. Also, really appreciate Michael for coming here to show everyone how amazing their product is for brands, for e-commerce, and how they are much better at using HeyGen than ourselves. I think I said, I'm shocked like how smart those ideas are. And also thanks to Eddy. Eddy was just here. Yeah, for walking us through, like exciting product we've been developing and what's coming that will not only empower like great product like Getit, but also every one of yours, if you have any idea. We totally think real-time interact communication with an avatar could be the future of interface of so many businesses to their end users. Yeah, try it. Tell us what your use case is, and let us know what you need from us. We are totally excited to help you get it up and running. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to see you next time.
Awesome, guys. So we have the space until 7 p.m. So please feel free to hang out, network. I'm going to put my colleagues on the spot really quick. If you work at HeyGen, raise your hand. Don't be shy. Come talk to us. Come talk to us, especially if you guys want to learn more about the product, if you're interested in getting involved with the community, either as a speaker for events or joining a webinar, things like that. Please chat with us. And lastly, big thank you to the Kin for having us in this lovely space. Thank you guys all so much, and enjoy the rest of the evening.